My fellow Americans, as President and Commander-in-Chief, it is my duty to the American people to report that renewed hostile actions against United States ships on the high seas in the Gulf of Tonkin have today required me to order the military forces of the United States to take action in reply. The initial attack on the destroyer Maddox on
understandable grievances have joined in the attack on their own government. But we must not let this mask the central fact that this is really war. Most of the non-communist nations of Asia cannot by themselves and alone resist the growing might and the grasping ambition.
They tightened its hold on the Batangang Peninsula on South Vietnam's central coast, trapping an undetermined number of North Vietnamese and Viet Cong troops in tunnel and bunker systems. Yesterday, the Allies killed 23 of the enemy and captured 130.
Say that we are tired and stale. Unsatisfactory conclusion. On the off chance, the military and political analysts are right.
One of the most frequently repeated pieces of conventional wisdom in this war has been that unless the Viet Cong can be beaten in the Delta, the South Vietnamese government can have no hope of winning the war. The Delta is where most of South Vietnam's population is concentrated, where most of its food is grown, the richest and most coveted area in Southeast Asia. Up until last year, the Delta belonged to the Viet Cong. Most of its leaders came from the Delta, most of its recruits came from there, and most of its money in taxes and extortion. But since last year, there's been a dramatic reversal of the government and the Viet Cong positions in the Delta. While the government has been growing stronger, the Viet Cong have become weaker. They're having trouble finding enough recruits and are replacing their losses with less effective North Vietnamese regular soldiers. Their underground apparatus is slowly being whittled down by arrests and defections. Major General Roderick Wetherill, the top American advisor in the Delta.
We still have, there are really more displaced persons than they are refugees. There are people that have come out of the hinterlands where the VC had been able to tax them and abduct them and terrorize them into serving in their forces. And to avoid that, they'll come into the cities. Now following the troop explosion, now we're having this gradual return to the countryside, which, as I say, is most heartening.
Most of the U.S. 9th Division has been withdrawn from the Delta, and the rest are soon to go. The only American soldiers there now are a few engineer battalions building and repairing roads. The fighting is being done by the Vietnamese.
I don't think we'll ever bring U.S. troops back here. I just can't conceive of a situation where we would have to redeploy U.S. troops here in the Delta.
American civilian advisors earlier this year argued forcefully for the withdrawal of the American division from the Delta. Turn the job over to the Vietnamese, they urged, and put the emphasis on pacification and security rather than killing VC. So the 9th was withdrawn. And so far, they haven't been missed.